Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Gary Payton lands notable head coaching job in basketball. Coach Glove is officially getting another go at it. The College of Alameda announced on Saturday that they have hired retired NBA great Gary Payton to lead their men's basketball program. Payton will be taking over as head coach for the junior college, which is located on an island in Alameda, California. Now 56, Payton, a native of the Bay Area, played in the NBA from 1990 to 2007, mainly for the Seattle Supersonics but for 4 other teams later on in his career as well. Known for his relentless defense, Payton was a 9-time NBA All-Star, a 9-time All-Defensive Selection, as well as a 7-time All-NBA honoree. He won an NBA championship in 2006 with the Miami Heat and was inducted into the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame in 2013. Since retiring, Payton has gotten coaching experience at multiple different levels of basketball. He has been a head coach in the Big Three since 2017 and was recently named Big Three Coach of the Year after helping lead his Bivouac team to the league title this season. Payton had already spent the last 3 years in the collegiate ranks as well as the head coach of Lincoln University in Oakland, California. Granted, Payton parted ways with Lincoln earlier this year amid reported disagreements with the university over finances. The job at Alameda won't be an easy one either, as their men's basketball team went a dismal 7-21 last season in the Bay Valley Conference. But Payton is clearly ready for a new challenge as a head coach, which is an interesting character arc for a guy who once admitted to wanting to kill his own head coach. Former Heat guard and current free agent deserves a contract somewhere. Most of the dust has settled on the biggest offseason moves, but with training camp less than a month away, teams will start filling out the edges of the roster soon. Plenty of talented players remain free agents. Players like Markelle Fultz and Dennis Smith Jr., with real NBA experience, could be looking for any opportunity to keep their careers alive. But the realities of the new salary cap structure have led to some penny pinching across the league. That could be good for a young player like Alonzo Williams, who wouldn't command as high a salary as players with several years of NBA experience. The Heat seem to have moved on. They rescinded Williams' restricted free agent rights earlier this summer and have filled their 3 two-way spots with Drew Smith, Kashad Johnson, and Josh Christopher. Perhaps they can invite Williams back for training camp and give him an opportunity to compete for one of those two-way spots. Williams played a leadership role on the Heat's Summer League championship team. He was one of the G League's most prolific scorers last season, when he averaged 21.7 points on 52% shooting, along with 7.2 assists and 5.4 rebounds per game. Although Williams has only played in 8 NBA games, there's enough talent there for a team to give him a chance with a training camp invite or a two-way contract. There haven't been any rumblings about potential suitors. The Celtics recently signed guard Lonnie Walker IV to an Exhibit 10 contract, and the Lakers did the same with guard Jordan Goodwin. Teams are starting to fill out their training camp rosters. With so much talent competing for 540 NBA roster spots, good players are bound to be forced out. When a capable scorer like Williams still doesn't have a contract, it underscores how the league's fringes can be unforgiving. Jimmy Butler eyeing Brooklyn Nets? Miami Heat superstar fond of team. There's no telling where Miami Heat superstar Jimmy Butler will play after the season. Butler is entering the final year of his contract where he'll look to prove himself deserving of a maximum contract, while the Heat's front office is evaluating his worth. With either side potentially ready to end the tenure, other teams come into play for the 35-year-old. The New York Post's Brian Lewis proposes the Brooklyn Nets as a destination, reporting Butler is fond of the organization. Butler isn't just open to Brooklyn, but fond of it, Lewis wrote. Now, he's not a Net and he might never get close to becoming one. But to dismiss the possibility out of hand is foolish. Butler has decided he'll play out next season and won't extend in Miami ahead of his opt-out in 2025. He seems intent on hitting free agency, even if, when the Heat finally get around to giving him a concrete offer. This move doesn't make sense for the Nets or Butler at the moment. Brooklyn's front office just kicked off a rebuild by moving on from star forward Mikal Bridges and others, while the veteran star is seeking his first career championship. Unless the appeal of the city and money overpowers the desire of winning a title, it's hard to imagine Butler in a Nets uniform. Jimmy Butler has yet to reach the level of LeBron James or Dwayne Wade in Miami Heat history. While he has produced, Butler still lacks a championship with the franchise. The Heat have made 2 appearances in the Butler era, a window that is possibly closing. Still, it's hard to knock the move made in 2019. It's why Bleacher Report gave the Heat an A+ rating for the Butler signing, putting it among the best in the last 5 years. Only Jalen Brunson, A+++, going from the Dallas Mavericks to New York Knicks, was rated higher. Bleacher Report wrote, "No, Butler hasn't secured a 4th title for this organization. And it's starting to feel like his era may be over soon." But the 34-year-old has kept Miami far more relevant than it would have otherwise been, thanks to absurd playoff production. Fans and analysts can criticize Butler all they want. Sure, he may have talked a little too much smack. Yes, he missed a lot of games last season. But Butler elevated his legacy with the Heat. He was a fringe star during his days with the Chicago Bulls, Minnesota Timberwolves, and Philadelphia 76ers. He became a superstar with the Heat, especially during the run to the finals in 2023. Butler is a mere missed three-pointer at the buzzer from leading the Heat to 3 finals in 5 seasons. Season number 6 in Miami may not bring a title, but he's proved his worth. It's no secret the impact star Jimmy Butler has on the Miami Heat, but his influence is now gaining recognition league-wide. NBA analyst Brian Windhorst of ESPN listed Butler as one of the NBA's most important people for the upcoming season on the Hoop Collective. "I'm going to say Jimmy Butler, another player going into the last year of his contract, sounds like he had brief discussions with the Heat about a contract extension," Windhorst said. "So Jimmy is highly motivated to have a big year, he's 35. The Heat finished 8th the last 2 years and 2 years that have been plagued with injuries. Their big investment, Tyler Herro, has had a lot of injuries in that time." As Windhorst noted, the 6-time All-Star holds more motivation than ever. Butler is looking to prove worthy of a maximum contract extension despite the weighty amount of miles on him, especially from his tenure with the Chicago Bulls. It's fertile ground for Jimmy to have a big year, to try to get one last big contract from the Heat, Windhorst shared. The Heat have shown throughout the Pat Riley years when they think it's time and they will pay players. The decision is not only in the hands of Miami's front office, as Butler could decide to head elsewhere next offseason. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.